Hello everyone, this is Mohammed from Python Ninja YouTube channel, and this is the last tutorial related to exception handling in Python, where we will cover together assert state. The exception can be customized as what we highlighted in the previous tutorial, and we learn how can we use raise statement. And in this tutorial we will introduce assert. The assert is a statement primarily used as a debugging aid to check whether the condition or a condition is true or false. So we use this statement to verify a condition, and we usually give a message or print the negative of that condition. Okay, it is used, which is assert, to verify that certain conditions or assumptions are met, okay, at a specific point of the code. It catches also programming errors such as logical inconsistencies or unexpected conditions during the development and testing. It is also worth to mention that assert is used for or in testing and development stage. So for some Python users, may that will not be used too much, as if you like work as a data scientist, then this assert might be not too worthy to be like highlighted at this moment. But if you work in like code development and code testing, it should be highlighted, and you have to take care about the scenario that assert is used for. For example, in the previous tutorial, let us to recap the age. For example, we have 35, and what we learned together, if age lower than, let me to say, 32, but then I can do using raise. I can raise, for example, value error or what's exception I want. Then I use I show a message or I submit a message. Okay, for example, invalid valid age. Okay, and this message is still stay in the line with the condition. So if the age will be 32, then the message will show to the end user that is invalid. For example, if I will choose 25, which is lower than 32, then I have the value error here will show to me. Okay, now let us go with assert. How can we use assert in this case? For example, I will use age also 35, and I can employ assert just by recalling the statement of the keyword assert. Then I can insert my condition. I want to check if the age, for example, is greater than 37. Okay, so look to this intuition of using assert. Now we check if the age, okay, is greater than verify. So assert meaning that verify the age is greater than 37. If you verify, then do nothing. But if that is not met, then we show a new message which saying that cannot, okay, for example, use this age. Okay, let us execute this. Then I have assertion error, which say that cannot use this age, which is I designed here and I customized here. So the main task of assert is to do verification. It's not like raise. If met a condition, then the message will be related to the condition. But here, no. We verify the condition. If the condition will not meet, then I print the message. Let's give another step by highlighting another example. Let us to define divide, and I give inside it two numbers. Then I will, so this should be 2, and I will now start asserting. Asserting what? I want to assert if the number 2 will not equal 0, because otherwise I will have 0 division error. So this will keep eye to the number 2, and if the number 2 will not equal 0, then the code will proceed. But If the negative case, so this is the positive case, not equal 0, the code will go. But if there will be positive case, which means that n2 will equal 0, then I can say message cannot divide by 0. So look to this. Assert, do verification. If the verification is okay, then we go with the code. But if not, then we print the message. Okay. And finally, let's return n1 over n2. And we can wrap this during try except as what we learned in the previous. And here I will have the result, which will be the function recalling or invoking. And now I enforced n2 because this was the function. This is the first argument 10. This is the second argument. The first argument related to 10 and 0 is the second argument. This will verify if n2 will not equal 0. Okay, then we will pass. This is not achieved because n2 now is equal 0. Then this message should appear, and I can use except, and I can use assertion error. So please go back to the previous tutorial to learn more about try except and the type of exception. So we can use assertion error here as E, and remember this assertion error is a class, and I can print E. E now will show me this message, which is cannot divide by 0. When I execute this, then the message cannot divide by 0, which come from this assertion. And remember again and again, assert does verification for a condition. If the verification is done and passed, then we go to the result. If not, it will show this message. Now, this is what we can cover related exception handling, but assert also is used widely by the developer code testing during the development stage. So let us focus on another example. For example, if I have dictionary, the dictionary is data, and that will hold, for example, name, and in the name I put, for example, my name. And I can give also the age, and for the age I can put 35. Now I have no problem here. Remember that in a newer version of Python, like Python 3.8, 3.10, you can do type annotation. What is the type annotation? So this is a dictionary, and this variable whole dictionary, so the type of data that the data hold is dictionary. So I can use double colon, I can use here colon here, and I can say dict, which specifies the type of the data to be dictionary. Or I can say, for example, age. I want the age to be integer, so this is just give labeling to data type, or like give annotation. So we annotate the data type. So we give integer. And I give default value for this variable to be 35. For example, I can give name. And I give the string, and I can give, for example, default name is Ali, and this is similar to what we annotated in the data-oriented classes, which I think we covered in previous tutorials. This is just a quick note that I want you to learn, that this, if you find a code with colon and then you first this data type, then remember that this is nothing but the annotation for the variable, and just to identify the data type. Now, so this is dictionary. I want to define a function. This function is used in code testing and is used usually as a entry program, in the entry program to check the variables or something around the data. So let us define, for example, entry program. This is just to show you how can we further use assert. I want to pass to this the data, it will be of a type of dict. So I can give annotation, okay, even at the argument level. Here, for example, I can give age, and this case will be integer. So just I don't need to highlight the annotation too much now. Just I want to be focused on assert. So what we can do here with assert. So I want to submit this dictionary to this function to do further processing. The first one, I want to check if the dictionary is empty or not. What I can do in this stage, I can do assert, okay, data. If just I can assert the argument, okay, meaning that it check if the argument is not empty. Okay, this is the main syntax. So it's check if the data is not empty. But if not, okay, what I will do, I will show the message, okay, empty or data is empty. So again, what assert does, it check if the data is not empty, okay, and if it is empty, it will show this message. Okay, what I can do further, I can check the type of the data itself, which is this. Okay, it's not necessary to have this data with the same name of argument, so I can say X. Okay, now I want to check if the type of the input argument here is dictionary. So what I can do, I can say assert. Okay, for example, I can say assert the type of the data will equal what? Equal dictionary. Okay. Now, if the type is dictionary, then okay, verified. But if not, then I will say here valid, okay, data. Let us to say invalid data type. Okay, so you can customize whatever you want here. Now, what I can do further, I can take assert to another level. So we can repeat this, okay, using different way. So I can say assert, okay, by using is instance, okay. This is instance. It take an object. For example, this is called an object, okay, and it check the type. For example, is instance of the data. It's coming from the dictionary, so it will verify. So remember, integer, float, and dictionary all are classes in Python, and these are like in the backend of the Python. Now, I want to check if this data is instance of dictionary. Yes, it's an instance from dictionary data type. Okay. Now, if it is not a dictionary data type, so this line and this line both are similar. If it's not, I will repeat this message. Okay, so remember, assert does the check. If it's verified, then it will pass. If it's not, then it will show this message. What I can do also, I can do assert, okay, for the type of the value of this case. How can I do that? I can assert what is the type of the data of the key, the value, okay, corresponding to the key, which is name. So I can assert the type of this key, of the value of this key, which is Muhammad, will equal what? Equal string. If it's not the string, then say to me invalid data type. Okay, invalid data type. I can do also what? I can check this. Okay, either to follow by this way, I can check the type of this value by following this, or we can do that with different way. So how can I do that? I can do assert. Okay, assert is instance. So we can use either assert is instance or assert the type. Assert is instance of what? Of the data of the key, which is age here. Okay, and I want to assert this to be of class integer, and if it is in the class integer, then we have nothing. But if it will be, for example, anything other than integer, then we will show the another like invalid data type, or let us to say invalid integer, just to make this different, or here I can say invalid str data type. Now let us invoke this function. Okay, we can recall this, and now I want to pass the dictionary, this dictionary, which is the data. If I want to run this, I have no error, I have no assertion. All of these test has been passed because the data is not empty. Okay, but if I make it empty, I cross it, okay, then I run, then I will have assertion error which show to me data is empty, which is here because I added assert to the data. Okay, and assert data check if the object is empty or not. Then, okay, I can make it here. Then I want to change the data type of this age. I want to make this, for example, a string, not integer. Then this line will be activated. So remember, either to have type like this or is instance, both are the same. When I run this, then I will have assertion error, invalid integer data type, which comes from here because I did assertion to the data type, okay, of the value of the age, and this should be integer, but because I annotated it to be a string, I can change that, and now it is string. So this is now showed no error to me. Now remember that the default the default case is for assertion is true, which means that the debug is running, okay, when I use assert. So if I want to be sure, I can print debug like this, and then I use another underscore, trailing underscore. This will show to me if I use this variable, if I recall this special variable debug, it will become true because assert, okay, the default activation for the assert is true. And if you want to like override or overlook to assertion during your code, then you should run your code not directly from the code editor, okay, or using this button or using Shift F10 in this PyCharm, but you can go directly to the terminal, and in the terminal, what you will do, you can say Python. Let us just run the code, which is main, and here I am in the same path where the main.py, which is this file, is located. I can say Python main.py, and this is the main. It's equivalent to run the code from the code editor, and now I have it true because I already assertion is activated, but if I want to overlook this assertion, I can make the debug off, okay, and this just can be done when I use Python, then I keep space, then I use dash, then capital O, okay, then I will make it false. So what does that mean? If I have at this time a string, if the age of type string, okay, if the debug is true, then the code will stop at this line, but I can turn off all assertion when I can run the code in the command using the command line or the terminal here, and I have to type Python, which is the command to run any code using the command line argument. Then I use dash O. Dash O is to deactivate the debugging mode, okay, and then I can write the name of the file. Then I have no problem. I have false because what? I have false because I use a print debug mode. Then I can, for example, print what I want to do. For example, print hello. So I will repeat this with you. So I want to use hello, and now the code has been passed. Okay, we overlooked all of these assertion because I run the code using dash o here, and if I want to return this to be type integer, and I will make the debugging mode is active, then I remove dash o capital and I will run. Then I will have no error, but if I want to enforce an error, then I will show now we have an error which is assertion error because of this type. And I want to also finally to close this tutorial. Sometimes in the production, before the production and the development, the Python developer and as any language, they try to add doc string. What is the doc string? Is using to add comment under the function directly to give annotation and description to the parameters of the variable. So I can, for example, say this. This is a function for assertion like this. Whatever you want, you can write like as a text, okay? And if we go to the terminal and run the code, and then I will have here everything is working and in the debugging mode, and we passed all of these tests, okay? But if I want to say Python here, okay, if I want to use dash double O, then I will have also here nothing, because I also want to print here to use this dash double O, which will print this doc string. I can use also print the name of the function, okay, and then I use another special variable here, which is doc. So I go to the command line and I will print, or I want to run this file, and now I will have nothing. But if I will run this like this, then I will have the annotation, which is the text. So running this, okay, from the command line from the terminal directly using Python, okay, main.py will print directly also the command or the string here, okay? So we can see here, so we can notice here when I run this, I have also this is a function for assertion, which is in the top here. Sometimes that will be annoying. Sometimes you will need to eliminate this text, but you want to keep it inside the function. What you will do at this stage, you can use Python dash oo, just remember this capital, and then main.py or the name of your file, and you press enter. Then this description or this doc string will be removed, okay, and you will not see it here, provided that you add doc variable. I think I covered all things necessary for exception handling, from try except to raise to assert. And by this we will close the tutorial series related to exception handling.